I would just keep swiping and swiping, and then, you know, like, there'll be this, oh damn, and then I swipe right, and then like automatically it would come that you have a match.
Tinder guilty as charged.
I was already in a relationship when Tinder was launched, and I'm still in the same relationship.
You swiped right, he swiped right, and you both know you're kind of into it.
It was something new when I got a fancy smartphone. I downloaded it to see what was it.
Tinder is actually when you're lazy.
On the basis of your talent to text, on the basis of your talent to swoo people by SMSs or by Facebook messages. That's a similar language which is being reflected in Tinder. On the basis of that, you're able to meet people, you're able to probably make out with them, have sex with them.
It's where people actually put down their thoughts straight and clear right in front, you know, like, okay, this is what I'm here for, this is what I'm looking for.
Straight men on Tinder will find a lot of girls who don't want to get into dating, they don't want like friendship only.
If I knew that there was this guy who was only looking to hook up and all, I would, if I was in the mood even, I would definitely swipe right to that, you know, why not?
I'm not on Tinder. Maybe I will be in the future, who knows.
If I had to use Tinder, I think I would have used it if I was a first timer.
I found my friend's little sister on it, and the overall age was between 18 to 22 of like the people around me, that 5-mile radius or whatever that is.
As soon as social media started, the one thing that happened with most of the girls, most of my friends, was that you opened this inbox of yours and you saw like a flurry of messages from people. It's like a whole other world.
You realize how it's the complete opposite when a boy opens the Tinder app.
You can take your pick if you want to, as a woman.
Tinder, again, it just gives you the illusion of options.
And because of talking to them online and the intimacy of sharing photos and stuff like that, you've already gone so far down the line that you don't realize how far you've gone until you meet them in person. You're like, shit.
This one guy I was talking to on Tinder, and I actually met him. He was one of the people that I'd met. And he met me somewhere in a public place, and then after that, like, we went back to his place because he thought that we were going to fool around. But I was like, no, dude, I'm not here to do that. In fact, I had to make a ridiculous lie to save myself from being groped or something, you know. And I was in this whole awkward situation where I was like, I don't know how else to get out of this.
I've met people who are low on confidence because they're not getting liked on Tinder. I do know people, and I do know people who are figuring out a language of how to be successful on Tinder, and the idea of success on Tinder is always related to sex.
So most of the men who come to me and tell me that they are not, this is going to sound bad, but that they're not doing so well on Tinder, probably the pictures are probably not, it's very visual.
Abhi media is there, social media is there. They are presenting a different face.
Social media is not anymore a means to communicate, and we're always looking. So when there's a long distance relationship, there is this insecurity that there is lack of communication, which this social media fills in. So all the time we're on Facebook, all the time we're on Tinder, all the time we're on some messenger chat. What is it that we need to talk so much?
I did have a nice and meaningful relationship with somebody over text, and that was because we developed a system for us to understand the mood that we're in by the number of dots we put at the end of each sentence.
Why does all relationship rely on this fabric of communicating with each other? And there is a wide difference between communicating and connecting. So that's where I was saying, so this deep desire to connect but not know what actually connections are gets into this desperate act of communicating with each other all the time. Otherwise it feels that there is no relationship.
I, at the end of our relationship, would feed off of the social media presence. I would feed off saying, okay, we've not uploaded anything recently. We should upload something, huh? And I would wait for him to upload it. That's the time when he was getting disinterested in me. And the time that he would upload it, I would be like, oh, that means it's still on. You know, something's still going on.
You can't express it through words, you know. And we've kept our own symbols for certain things. Like an octopus would be something like a hug, or a snake would be a hug in WhatsApp.
When you upload photographs and things like that, it does get views, it does get reviews. It kind of makes you think that I really do like this guy a little bit more, you know?
Like, you didn't like my post on Facebook, you don't love me anymore. That's like some shit you'll hear these days.
Even if it's a fucking like this emoticon, you know? And it's such a shit emoticon, firstly. Who does this? Do you do this in your life?
The friends who were not very open to me, friends enough, and maybe family also, who were not very open to me earlier, like I know like 10 years back or 15 years back, we met, we did not interact that much. Now they are much open, and they reveal their own true self. Maybe true, I feel so, because I've been knowing them for quite some time, so that's their true self. That's what I feel, you know. They can express themselves properly on text, maybe.
Okay, I think people are more comfortable talking on like computers or on WhatsApp, because most of the times they don't have to actually show what they are saying, what they are feeling, what they're thinking. It's very easy to frame some sentences in such a way that you sound like something that you want to sound like.
Love marriages तभी भी होते थे. So naturally that boy, suppose he is finding a girl interesting or a girl is finding a boy interesting, she would naturally wear a mask in front of him. Especially the boy, क्योंकि बाद में the girl has to go and stay with the boy. So पहले तो because he wants to marry that girl, he will always show a good side of him.
When you are having like face-to-face conversations, you don't have time to think and answer. And most of the times, the immediate responses are true responses.
See, now love is becoming an industry. My life is so full of these applications that I am involved in. You want to be okay tested by the other person to be in a relationship, and that's something that the digital age has given us, because we are constantly under this whole thing of being accepted or rejected, and this culture of being accepted or rejected, which Tinder personifies in a certain way, has been very deep rooted.
I think that's what's being highlighted these days by social media, and guys going out and searching and seeing women in a position of choice for once.
Isn't all sexual attraction superficial? You have to like the way the person looks.
I saw also my husband with a bed for the first time. And when he got married, it was without a bed, so he was a different person altogether. So it doesn't matter. After a period, if you like somebody, you like the inner self.
I mean, nobody wants to be pity fucked.
Am I getting rejected is also a sense that sets in, because I'm swiping right for everybody, and I am not getting swiped right probably even by an individual.
A lot of us guys aren't in touch with our emotions and aren't in touch with what we want as intimacy.
You know what people generally think of intimacy? Huh?
Be it your naked self, be it your ideas, be it like you killed someone and you wanted, like if there's one person you can confide that to, that is being intimate.
If you can say things to each other without having to censor what you're thinking, and the other person gets what you're saying.
Intimacy would be trust.
Actually, even I'm the kind of person who would much rather text than meet someone face to face. And I think the two major reasons are because I don't like making eye contact as much. So, you know, it's very awkward when you're actually standing in like person face to face. For a lot of people, meeting a person, holding hands with the person, or even making eye contact is very intimate. I get very nervous sometimes, you know, so I have to like keep looking around.
But see, as I grew up, the thing was my parents got separated. So tabhi, for me, being loved was, you know, for someone to be there with you. And tabhi there was no one with me, so as you're growing, you want to share with someone. So for me, love was something like, you know, sharing, opening your heart out to someone. So wo bahar mila.
Okay, to be honest, what I thought love was basically what everything you see in a movie. Like, you know, the general rom-coms or any like Archie's comedy, like, you know, the comic strips where they have a lot of love quotients involved. So I always thought it was, you know, not real. I thought it was fantasy, love. I never thought that it was reality. I thought it is something of an imagination. And even at home, the word love wasn't a colloquial term. We wouldn't share. It would be like a pat on the back or a gesture. that would symbolize love, but we wouldn't literally say it out. And even till date, my family is not very comfortable with the terminology, but we've happened to grow to understand it and to say it. So now I will say I love you.
I've always hidden things from my parents because, well, that's just how my family is. And
there is this thing in the Marathi middle class where you don't talk about things. You just don't discuss awkward topics ever.
I mean, probably I was like the very lovey-chubby guy, like very cheesy and like believed in making like romantic gestures and everything. But that changed with bad experiences.
People getting heartbroken much earlier in life. Much earlier in life, they're dealing with issues like cheating and stuff like that. It leaves you jaded. It leaves you scared. You don't want to be intimate anymore. And of course, yeah, you understand the pleasures of the human body. You just want to explore that. You don't want to have intimacy in your life. I think you're wasting your young years in that sense, you know, because that's the time when you should put yourself at risk and screw yourself up. Just try and keep in perspective that, you know, yeah, I'm going to get screwed up. This is not going to end well, but I can always take something good from this. And people are avoiding that. People are avoiding risking themselves. They're avoiding pain.
Over the years also, like my family or whoever I've seen around me, you know, relationships tend to get brutal really fast, and there are always like negative consequences of things. So based on that, it just never made sense that, you know, people actually love each other, because then how can you hurt them like that?
I come from a broken home, so I always thought love was something that lasted forever. It would be a fixed relationship that only ends when people die. But I've had much more beautiful experiences. After something dies, it can be more beautiful, and that's something I realized later on. So
we both are really lucky to have each other. It has made me a lot more positive because he can see certain things in me that for 25 years I couldn't see, and he had this unconditional blind belief in me that I can do a lot more than I'm doing right now. And it was a very did he have any data to prove it? No, because he had not met me earlier. But it was just that good feeling that he had for me triggered a sense of self-worth in me, which I lacked earlier.
When she told me that she wants to go out and I really can't afford it, I let her go with other people. And she was polyamorous, so it would go further from there, you know. But a couple of times she would actually get really intimate with someone, like take them home at the end of the night. But then things wouldn't work out with that person, and she'd end up calling me to come over to her place. And I've been there like barely minutes after the previous guy left, and I'd sit and I'd be there for her when she needed me and stuff like that. And yeah, so when she needed other things that I couldn't provide, she told me that I want to find these things in other people.
Or mending your ways just to be with someone else, is it worth sacrificing your own needs? But it's not that cruel.
But when she said that she wanted other things, she asked me like, how would you feel about this? How would you feel about the fact that I'm going to be with other people? So I told her, she's like, will you be cool with it? I told her, no, I won't be cool with it, but you are telling me that this is a part of who you are. You're telling me you're a polyamorous person, and I don't want to remove a part of you to date you. So if you're telling me that you're polyamorous, I will trust you wholeheartedly and you can be polyamorous because I want to date you for who you are as a person. So I don't mind, and I'm not cool with it, but it's my adjustment. That's something I'm going to have to adjust to. It's not your problem.
So many of our friends are like, you know, such heavy romantics. I'm looking for this. I am a writer, a poet, artist. You know, I need this sexual and emotional inspiration. Nothing of that sort.
The first time it happened, she actually called me over. She's like, you know, it was weird with him. It's not that weird with you. So I missed you when I was with him. So then I felt nice. But then later on, there was another guy who came in, and that guy became far more important than me. And then it just kind of died out from there, and it just happened. But, you know, in the end, I'm glad I made the effort.
We have so many pockets to fill. We can't have one person to fill up all the pockets.
It's just you being scared, I think. Try giving yourself to one person. Give everything to one person. Why not? I mean, it's insane. But that's what intimacy is. It is insane.
You know why you love someone? Because you're like, he gives me, this sense of peace that I don't have. So that means you are selfish, na? You want peace. So you're looking for peace from someone else.
We are in a hurry to label a relationship as girlfriend-boyfriend kinds, because it gives you freedom to do whatever you want with that person. Till you call it a relationship, many boys and girls till today, even in your generation, are not ready to have sex if they are not in a relationship. There are few who are ready just to have sex without being in a relationship, but they are very few.
I don't date, but I do have people that I, who are like partners for me. So even they have a certain value in my life and stuff. So, it doesn't really, I think it's something that just grows in us now because of the fast pace that we're living at in today's day and world.
People who had landlines who used to just call to see if the friend is home and then go to their place. And are the same people who had one mobile phone in their family, then had one mobile phone for everyone, then they had 3 mobile phones for each person in the house. Now they have touch screens, now they have internet, now they have faster internet, even faster internet, apps, everything, food comes to their doorstep. Everything happened to these guys in one lifetime. That is the problem. We can't deal with the change that is happening.
It's very interesting. I was in the boys' school, and we had a playground which was divided into 2 by a big wall, and the other side of the playground was actually a girls' school. So, and we used to dig holes into the walls to try and see what's happening on the other side of the world. So that's the first impression that I have about interacting with girls as a community. Interaction with a single girl on an individual basis was something that I managed to do with courage after a long time, and it's something that's been there in the society that I have grown up.
We are masters of controlling what we share. We have privacy settings on everything. Just like on Facebook, our real selves have become our profiles, and we've got like this, that we can control.
हमारे टाइम पे we are like even if the parents are fixing that marriage, ultimately you are just seeing the qualification या pay packet अच्छा है, okay अपने बेटी को खिला पिला सकेगा.
And man, it's like shopping. It's just, there's so much you can choose from. At least I think people are more open and to the idea of Tinder, because it's very open-ended. Maybe it will go somewhere and maybe it won't. Most people hope it doesn't go anywhere. Most people are just expecting like a one-night stand or a hookup.
One fell in love, married an American, lived in America. One fell in love through Tinder, married the German, lived in Germany.
So on Tinder, I was just myself.
I think it helps long-distance relationships because there's nothing else in a long-distance relationship. Social media can help, but if you live in the same city, you just drop your phone, meet the person, fight in real life. Fight in real life. Shit.
Even if you are being friendly on Facebook, if you are open about it, if you are liking some person, you can meet if that person is staying in the same town. Or before going to the next level, you should see whether you are compatible enough. Looks है, कौन सा photo pic post किया है, उससे तो in person मिलो.
Connection is being packaged into apps called Tinder, and then we had Yahoo messengers. We had a lot of all these things where there was possibilities of mating and possibilities of finding love, and there have been people who have been successful also at it.
My sister, she met someone on Tinder and she's married to him now, and it worked out brilliantly for them.
And my husband, like he was away like since we got married, 22 years he's really touring, not only in India but outside India for months together. So I feel कि तब अगर ये होता तो like even the distance would not have mattered. Like now he had been to Antarctica, but I didn't feel at all that he is on a completely different continent and not surrounded by anything, because WhatsApp and Facebook was there. So I really am thanking technology for that. Every day we used to have a Skype call, every day on Facebook video call, and lots of pics he used to take. So I never felt कि वो इतना दूर गया हुआ है.
There's nothing that I can say that can substitute me going and holding somebody in my arms and saying I'm sorry. You can't. It's just, there's no words. You can't substitute real life interaction at all. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, what gestures you make over social media, send them photos of things you've made. It won't make a difference. You have to be there. You have to be there. And I can tell you from somebody who is known for performing and communicating, just don't. You can't do it via text. You can't do it via social media. You have to be there in real life. There's that, yeah, the whole thing about wine and tongue kissing in real life and all that. It may sound like, romantic bullshit that, like 21-year-old girls who read too much Mills and Boons will be like, no, everyone thinks like that about these things these days. But it's true. You're losing way too much trying to communicate over social media. Social media should only be things where, okay, photos are there, some nostalgia about some moment. That's it. Don't trust social media for real communication.